This is Soy,
And this is Dyra.
and you're listening to Hair and Whatever.
Unfiltered salon talk. Hey y'all! So
Hey.
this is Soy and I am Dyra and you're listening to Hair and Whatever, and today we have a special guest on the show.
Hello, everyone.
Her name is Angela, and can you let us know who you are, what you do, where you come from, your social security number?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm a whole type, so yes. No, my name's Angela McTeer, and thank you, first of all, for having me today. I'm really excited to be here. I love the podcast. I'm a fan.
Yay!
Yes, definitely.
Well, I'm a fan of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. No, I really think it's great for us to have these conversations about issues that matter. So it's really, really good. But what I do is basically help people conquer aesthetic issues. So that could be a little unwanted hair or, in different places on the body, or it could be acne or signs of aging or hyperpigmentation. So basically skin issues and unwanted hair.
And tell
that's
us
it.
what's the name of your business?
Harlem Zen.
Harlem Zen.
Harlem
Check her
Zen
out,
is where you can
everyone.
find us. Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to be getting into that shortly. But first, we're going to give our crown of the week
To Neela.
Neelam. She's so fly, you guys. Like, she is so cute. Like, she wears the hijab, and she's like a rapper, singer?
Yeah, rapper, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always has like, her thing going on with her hair. What is it called? The hijab?
Hijab.
Hijab. And like she just like she's not doing too much, but
But she's so fly.
Right.
Like, she's like super fly. She's not like showing everything.
it's
and
super
she's still
stylish.
classy.
Super stylish.
Yeah,
She's
beautiful.
She's just well put together overall. So
Yeah.
crown of the week for her.
And you can find her at Neelam _ on IG.
Yes. So what we talking about, Soy?
So today we're going to talk about the expectations that clients have, whether it be, realistic or unrealistic. And I know Angela can relate to.
Right.
Oh,
You know? And of
Yeah.
course we have our guest again, Angela from Harlem Zen, who I'm a fan of.
Aw.
So yeah, so that's what we're talking about.
Right. Client expectations. What clients require? Sometimes they require you to do
Move the moon, the stars, the
move the
clouds.
mountain. Yeah. Bring down the moon, the stars.
Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you obviously you work in the industry for 20 years. I'm sure you've encountered.
20 years.
I mean, I
As
didn't
long
make
as you don't look it.
right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm sure you've encountered a lot of
Craziness.
yeah. So you want to tell us a little, crazy shit that you get in the salon?
I mean, I just think that sometimes clients just have an expectation that their hair is going to transform in one visit, especially if they haven't been doing, the things that it takes, the hair care. You're not going to achieve that in one visit. I mean, you can look significantly different, like from maybe, someone that needs the drastic haircut and they have a lot of split ends going up the hair shaft. But to have a good overall hair health, you need to have continuous visits from the salon.
You can't just come one day and expect
Right.
a miracle.
Exactly.
It's not going to
Agreed.
happen, So have you had any client that has come in and is like, girl, I want this?
Of course. It's so many clients that come in and they have a picture in mind of someone that is doesn't have their hair texture or has a lot of might have big voluminous curls, and then they their hair may be fine, and they come in and they're like, okay, well, I want this. Yeah. So I've had so many of those situations happen, especially with the the onset of social media and all of that, and it's just so in our face. And a lot of clients just, the expectations are just really high because on IG you see the end result of a lot of things.
Because of the influencers and all that stuff and what, you know, people are posting. Like, people do not post a bad hair day.
They don't. They're gonna post their best.
They always post their best, or what they want to show the world. You know,
exactly. Like, here, this product right here changed my life in one day.
Yeah, bullshit.
Right. Bullshit alert.
Right.
So, you know, and I'm sure you've experienced it.
Oh
too,
yeah,
right?
like especially when they ask me like, oh, I want these braids, like. Or I want this or that or whatever it is. But you got to also keep in mind that hair braider did that hairstyle. Mm-hmm. So it's like kind of like, you know, she has her own technique and she has her own style.
She's an artist
in her own way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that itself, like, you can't come and be like, okay, well, I want that.
Exactly.
And expect that. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, it's not the same, you know, like, where it's, like, all jacked up. You know how you've seen some hairstyles, like, like, damn, I wanted this, but I got this.
Wait, isn't it something, like, online where it's, like, what was it? It's, like, what you get. It's, like, something about...
Right, what you asked for.
But versus what you got.
What you got.
Exactly.
Obviously, it's not like that, but, you know, it's just different. You can't, and also, like, everybody's hair is different, like you said. You know, texture is everything. How much the density, how fine it is. Like, it's just a lot of, like, contributing factors that, you know, for the end result. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, of course, like, and, you know, people have a high expectation, but also don't expect to pay.
They don't expect to pay. They don't expect to wait. They don't expect to have, they want it done. The mentality that it, you know, that it takes. They don't want to. They don't want to go through the journey. They just want the result.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's with anything. Like, you got to go through the progress. You know?
I'm sure you've encountered, especially
especially in your, you know, profession too.
So it's crazy how we, you know, we're doing like the hair and people want long hair, right? But the rest of their body, they want no hair.
Exactly.
None.
Yeah.
Right.
Not one follicle.
It's like oxymoron, right? It's the total antithesis. Like, we're in the business of, you know, having hair, and you're in the business of removing hair. Unwanted hair.
We work together.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes, absolutely.
So have you had any crazy stories of people just wanting, like, miracles?
The miracle crew is still alive and well. Yes, and they're looking for it. Unfortunately, we're not able to deliver it. But I guess what really helped me was trying to, in the beginning, I think my consultations were different and they evolved over the years. And so now just being able to, like, give them all of the details, manage the expectations, letting them know, like, over the course of a decade of laser hair removal, I have never seen someone complete their session in, you know, 1 or 2, depending on these body parts that we're working on. And this one is probably going to take about 8, and this one's going to take about 6. And so just having a little more information for them of, like, okay, up front, you guys don't come to me 3 sessions in and say we didn't say this, because we talked about it all day one.
Exactly.
So
consultations are so important.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and a lot of people just want to jump right into the treatment, which is perfectly fine if you already know. But I think that's the one thing that kind of helped me was to just, like, sit down and really go into depth about every single step of it. So then when they see their results progressing, they're not just so impatient, shall we say, to get to the result.
Yeah, just be realistic, you know, and just explain everything in detail in the consultation, so they can, like, you know, have realistic expectations.
Right, because you do consultations. Like, you won't, sometimes if you don't know the person, like, I need to see you, like, I need to see your hair, like, because people think, like, okay, well, you told me over the phone.
Exactly.
Right.
Without seeing you.
That you were to make my hair grow.
Exactly. And even with, like, color too, like, some clients, you know, they don't know, like, I can't really quote, like, there's a base price of color, right? But there's all these variables that go into, like, having color. So you can't call me and say, you know, well, how much is highlights? I don't know what the heck your hair looks like. I don't know what kind of variables I'm getting myself into. So it's just always you know, you have to be mindful that, you know, when you have these services, that you want to get a really good consultation with the professional, because the professional, if they're a good one, they don't know what you have going on existing.
Yeah.
You know, so
Absolutely.
you can't like say, I can't quote you, you know, highlights over the phone without seeing really your hair. But I have a base it's gonna cost, but I don't know if that's gonna be the cost when you get there, because you might have something crazy going on.
Absolutely.
You might have, you know, some color, some you know, some existing color in your hair that's like black, and you want to go blonde.
Right, or
It's gonna take
red
a whole lot to get
blonde.
there.
Oh, it's gonna take a whole lot to get there. Like, you know, I'm gonna have to block off my whole entire day, and you're gonna pay me $1,500.
There it is.
Well,
That sounds good.
Right. Right.
I'm going to go on vacation.
Right.
$1,500.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I mean, that's a lot, you know.
It is.
So.
It is a lot. And you know, also, like, you have a lot of clients that come in maybe every 6 months, and they're like, oh, well, I want healthy hair. But then they're not willing to buy the products.
Right.
Right? Or whatever we recommend.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, they're not willing to cut all of, like, what's recommended.
Ooh.
Which, you know, it's part of healthy hair.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's a lot that, you know, that's around healthy hair, and people are not willing to do the work.
Yeah.
You know, and then expect, you know, the results. You know, and they're junking up their hair with a whole bunch of, like, bad products like gel, and then that's all that you know, they're doing. Or there's a lot of people that come in and they're like, oh, well, I want my hair curly.
Yeah.
You know, we get that a lot, but they're not willing to stop putting heat in their hair, you know, or doing like the work. You know, they're like, oh, well, I want my hair, you know, like that, or like this, or, you know.
Yeah.
You have to do the work, you know. So, like we always say, like, if you are going to do the work at home, then you have to have the care at the house to do the work. So,
Yeah, products are everything.
yeah.
Everything.
Same thing for us. Basically, the home care situation, and what have they already done at home? And then you come in, and it's like,
Exactly.
whoa, what happened?
Right.
What do we need to do to correct this? So,
Right, because, you know,
Definitely
you also
understand.
do other services as well. So you need to, like,
Absolutely.
kind of, like, at home take care of yourself, and, you know, whatever the recommended, whatever I've recommended, you got to do at home so you can get the best results.
absolutely.
You know, and we don't want clients to come in every week, you
no,
know, or
I
every
ban people to come in every week.
Right.
They can't come in every week if they
You
are
know.
getting if they want their hair straightened. They can't come every week. If you want your hair curly, you can come every week. But no.
Wow.
Curls, yes.
That's integrity. Awesome. I love
Yeah,
that.
I'm not about to put heat in your hair every week. That's just crazy.
yeah,
Beautiful.
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And granted, like I when I used to go to the Dominican hair salon, I used to work there. I used to, you know, straighten my hair every week.
Right.
You know, but I still deep conditioned, and I was like on top of like hair health. Like
Yeah.
that's always been my thing.
And then you still see the difference between your curls now.
of course,
like, even-
absolutely.
yeah.
Now from then, you know, they it's still curled, but not as nearly as much as they do now.
Right.
You know.
You just have to be mindful.
Of course. She has a story on
Oh, yes! On unrealistic expectations on hair growth. Remember you told me that story?
Oh,
she doesn't know.
which one? Which one? We were talking. There were some stories told in that room
Speaking
that
of
day.
unrealistic hair growth.
Yes.
Like, so many of us, you know, are obsessed with like long hair and just
Yeah.
having a lot of long hair. And we was talking about how you used the product Mane and Tail, remember?
Oh no, not that story, Lord. Yes,
Because you was having your unrealistic
Oh yes. Well,
expectation
okay.
moment, right?
Yes, this is true. This is true, but to my credit, it was like 2000, right?
Right,
So
right.
This was back when everybody, well, not everybody. This was kind of before people started doing natural. So we were doing like the bootleg. There weren't YouTube tutorials and all
Right.
that stuff didn't exist yet. So I think there was like one or two old school forums. It was like Long Hair Care Forum or something like that.
Right.
And, you know, girls would be sharing tips and stuff like that. And, I saw that they were talking about using mane and tail. And so it wasn't like the nice blue and white bottle on the shelf. It was like the bucket, right? Like no, I'm serious. Like the real for the horse. Yeah. Like that makes the literal ponytail nice and long. So
I swear
it was like some industrial version.
We do everything to make our hair grow. Whatever it takes.
Yes.
Whatever it takes.
Okay. Yeah. So, yes, unfortunately, I did attempt to use this product. I put product in some serious air quotes here.
So wait, let's
I'm looking at your face,
Hold on.
like
rewind. Mane and tail. So
yes.
So how does it come? Like it comes in.
Back
People were
then,
obsessed with this mane and tail thing.
Yeah.
I've never used it, even the mane and tail and the.
this was like 20 years ago almost now. But essentially, like the actual product that's used on the farm for the horses.
So you bought that?
Yeah, I found it
from
online.
where?
Well, the girls had a link, so they're sharing
No.
secrets. Okay,
This is on the Lawn Hair
Forum.
We need to pull that up. That is.
Oh, it was a while ago, but I had just transitioned to natural. And it might have been, I think it was 2000. Yep, when the towers went down, so did my hair. So that was it was the exact same. I think it was something about it. It was just like, okay, it's time to just cut this thing off and just start over. So that's when I big chopped. Exactly. And I was just like, how do I get back? Because I was used to having a ponytail, and so this little short thing wasn't quite working for me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this bucket of stuff right here.
Okay. All right. So you got the bucket. Right. You got the bucket.
Yes.
Then what did you do after that?
I put the bucket on my head, right? So, I mean, like, I had to transfer. It was too big, so it had to, like, be transferred into... See,
wow.
So you ain't right. You ain't right.
I love stuff like this.
So I had to transfer it to a smaller bottle so it could be applied. And you're supposed to apply it and like cover it with a shower cap or something and let it, steam
and this
in.
is what they do to the horses.
I don't know.
So how was your hair after?
I don't know what the horse is wearing, but I didn't make it very long because I put that stuff on my head and it did something. Like it was like this headache started coming down on me.
Clearly,
it was it was so powerful because I guess it wasn't meant for human consumption, but. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Y'all have a good laugh at me because I was desperate. I wanted my ponytail back. I had a ponytail. Then suddenly I can't pull it back.
So how many tries?
Oh, that was just one.
Just one?
Yeah. That cured you was just like,
it cured me.
So what you do with the bucket?
Oh my God. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure I threw it out.
Just threw it out.
Threw it out. Yeah. It wasn't something I would share with somebody because I'm like, that was a bad look.
Were your friends doing the same thing too? Did they get the bucket?
Well, I only had one other friend who had transitioned. So when we were in undergrad, my friend transitioned. Like she cut her hair off and came in one day, and we were like, "What?" Like this was like 98 or 97. She was like the maverick, it was like, and we're like, "Girl, how you gonna survive without the creamy crack?"
Right. What you gonna do with your hair?
What you gonna do? Yeah. And she was good. She was like, "This is how God intended me to be," and we're like, blasphemy. We were all upset.
Power to that
and then
sister.
We all followed her like dominoes.
I was that
right
girl.
After.
I was that girl in my crew.
You were the leader.
I was the leader.
I
was telling my girlfriends in '97.
Yes.
Christy, no.
We were terrified.
She tells that story all the time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Kudos to you all. Every crew, every girl crew needs a leader.
Right.
In terms of the hair, fashion, that stuff.
That's crazy.
But yes.
I never heard of that.
We were terrified. And so, yeah, I was desperate to find a way to be able to re-ponytail my hair. Because that was like.
Ponytail.
Yes.
So besides like the headache,
functional.
How did your hair feel?
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember?
It was pretty brittle. Yeah, it wasn't right.
It didn't feel like horse ponytail.
It was like no. Not that I felt one, but I would imagine it's a bit silkier than what I had. But I think it was just like the protein was just way too strong because I recently did another experiment, which is how we got on that topic because you were telling me no plexes. And I had tried, that's how we got on that conversation was because I tried the Olaplex. Yes. And I was like, this is similar to something I've experienced before. It was like, oh,
wow,
learned
Yeah.
lesson.
Learned.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, no more. I'm gonna dial it back.
Right.
Stay in my lane.
stick
Yes.
to
Oils and
natural.
butters. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's just, pure patience.
Right,
Like, your hair's
and-
going to grow.
right.
You just have to be patient.
And food is
Yeah,
everything.
food.
Whatever you're putting in your body,
Exactly. And products
sure.
and professional hair care.
that's it.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So someone slipped into the DMs.
Oh, yeah, this DM is hilarious.
Oh, it is. So this person's anonymous, and she was asking, do you do man weave?
Oh,
Because her
Okay.
her husband is considering getting a man weave and all that stuff, and she's obviously wanting to come in and
Right. And I told her I don't do those.
Yeah.
But I know there's people out here that do. This is a whole topic. I'm actually intrigued by this whole process.
of the man weave.
is
Yeah,
that
the man weave.
fibers that they stick on?
No,
to the
girl,
side
it's
of the
it's
head?
on some other stuff. I'm talking
Oh.
about like it's some really
Like hair.
Yeah, like
Oh.
hair, like, and they put it on, and like barbers will like fade it down and make waves and everything. It's
Oh,
like the
wow.
whole man weave.
Wow.
Like it's
Yes,
not
it's
exclusive for
truly-
women anymore.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
it's like
So you don't do them, right?
no,
Obviously.
honestly, I don't do those.
So what did you tell her, Soy?
I told her no, but I was like, I mean, there are people who do them. I know, like it was this one guy.
There's in the one of the lofts that girl that does that man that comes in.
She does, yeah.
You should have referred him to.
Tyra Truck
She-
funny. So damn shady.
I'm not shady. I'm just saying, like, she walked around with her client, and he was showing her his man weave. He actually was walking around, and he was like, "Look, this is the man weave." Like, she did a good job.
She did do a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat. I mean, women, we be out here, we get everything. We got fake nails.
Yeah, I should
fake
be
booties,
looking
fake
crazy.
breasts.
Some of them be looking crazy.
What?
Our weaves.
Oh, weaves, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
So let's say Chris would want to get, like, would you be against it?
He would never. We had this conversation the other day. He was just like, yo, like women, y'all get fake eyebrows. I mean, fake eyebrows, fake hair, fake lashes, fake booties, fake everything. And then talk about y'all want a real man.
Wow. True.
Right.
But they be looking at all that shit too. Like they be looking at the fake eyebrows, the fake,
Yeah.
all that
their
shit is
attention.
attracting
Right.
to them. They be looking at the fake booties and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Now, so you would be against if he did it?
And I don't think I would want him to have a male weave.
Why not?
I think that's just pushing it a little too
I mean, but
far.
if he's like, yo, I'm going through a midlife crisis.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna need you to just go ahead and own up to that
I'm gonna
male
need
pattern
you-
baldness.
I'm gonna need
you to just
sit
go
your
ahead,
ass down.
right, and just own up to go in
Permanently
male,
remove it.
right,
He can come on in.
right.
We'll just laser it off.
There
so
we
he just
go.
Bald,
Exactly.
bald head.
Exactly.
They do it all the time.
Exactly.
I mean,
But nah,
he
I'm
has to
straight.
deal with your clippings.
I deal with
He
it.
does deal with my clip-ins. I do. I mean, hey, I'm not going to.
So
stop
you wouldn't
getting-
support him?
No. I don't want my man having a man weave. I just don't like it. Like that's just not.
I mean, but what if it was a thing? Like, no, for real. And I'm not trying to joke or nothing like that. What if it really was a thing?
Like I just don't want you to have a man weave. I'm sorry.
Look, if Christian,
you know what it is? I don't want you to care so much. To me, that's just like you just caring
gay?
too much.
It's gay.
I don't want to say that. I'm just saying, like you
Metro.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah,
metro. Like I
yeah.
just need you to be.
So that's not
a little
something
bit-
that you're into.
No,
Metro.
no. Mm-mm. I like you a little bit rugged. Like I want
Right.
you to know how to look like you can, change your tire.
Right, right.
Like cut
Fight
some
somebody
grass.
if you
fight
need to.
somebody, right?
Right.
Protect us and go. You know what I mean?
I
Shoot
mean,
a
he
gun.
can still have a man weave and look rugged. So, like, stop being like-
Obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
they got fake beards and everything. Like, but I just don't want you to do it. No, I'm sorry.
Look, if
That's your preferences.
Christian
Right.
if
Yeah.
Christian would want to do it,
You'll be okay.
not that I would be okay. Like, obviously, I would be opposed to it. Like, I wouldn't want to. But if that's something that he wants to do, I'm gonna support him.
Okay.
You know,
just that good girlfriend
That's
like
good
that.
of you.
I mean, how about you? Your husband, man weave?
Well, my husband, he's a man of many hairdos. So I never know what I'm going to get. He's had locks and cut it all the way down and just different stuff. So I guess if it helped him, well, he's an actor, so
okay.
that might, if it helped him.
But
I mean, if
that's
they're like sticking the fibers on, that's one thing. Cause it's
but like you know how the ones that you can move. I've seen the ones that you can move.
Like full head of hair. I mean, I would probably have to clown him for it, but if he really felt he needed to do it, I would live with it.
Yeah.
But but there would be jokes like every single day,
right?
You know, every day, yeah.
But that's you got to support him. You can't make him feel, you know,
well,
as is men bald, right? So it could be a sensitive subject, you know. So for them, like
obviously, it's a whole business on
right.
You know,
imagine if you was balding and he's joking on you, telling you like, oh, you got to weave now. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to feel good about yourself.
Okay.
And you joking on him.
Wow.
I mean, I guess.
Took the moral high road there.
Right, you know? I know, right? Good angel, bad angel. Man.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
That was a good devil's advocate.
Yeah.
All right.
I just don't.
You won't joke on him.
Well, you know.
But
hey, get your man weaves. If it, you know, to each his own.
Whatever floats your boat.
Get your man weaves.
If it makes you feel good, then go for it.
Go ahead. I mean,
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
Hey, women, we do a lot. Like, we get all this.
Right, so they should be able to do that stuff.
This is where we moving in, you know, the scheme of things in these times. Evolving. Men wearing man weaves. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, we'll take it.
I guess fake abs is next.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
don't say that. Don't say that. No.
they have those T-shirts now.
What?
Like the with the painted fake abs.
Girl, stop it.
Anyway,
right.
So let's get into the whatever part, and you know we'll talk about Angela and
and Harlem Zen.
Yes,
and I've been there twice. You guys she is so sweet.
Thank you.
She is so, and she made me. And it was my first time getting laser hair removal because I always wanted to do it, and because I was getting waxed and man,
yes,
like
the agony.
I'm telling you,
it's brutal.
It's so brutal, and I thought that that the laser was gonna be
because it sounds like laser,
right? Laser, it just sounds scary,
yeah.
Right?
So I just thought that, man, but I really, really enjoyed my laser hair removal, and my stuff is silky smooth.
Oh yay!
Yes, and it's lasting. So tell us, like, what, you have Harlem Zen.
Yes.
And what type of services do you offer?
Okay. Well, I'd say about 60% of what we end up doing is female facial hair for females that are pigmented like us. So a lot of times it might be Indians or Asians or other folks with pigment. Latinas,
right?
But a lot of times we're suffering with unwanted hair and covering it with makeup and hiding it and shaving it and tweezing it and everything else. And so that's what I really wanted because women in my family suffered from unwanted hair. And whenever my turn came, I was like, oh hell no, you know. So it was like it really became like my passion to help people to deal with that. So we do full body hair removal, but I feel like the calling really was to especially help women to have that confidence when they go out and about so they don't have to feel like they're hiding or wearing a turtleneck in July and whatnot, trying to hide and carry.
Transitioning because they got that
Oh
hair.
My gosh.
Right.
Here we go.
I saw a lady with a full beard the other day, but
no way.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of times people just don't know where to go or what to do or how to get rid of it. And
or
they
don't
want
to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Well.
Or that, yeah.
Those people don't come to my door, but yeah,
Right.
I guess they exist. But in general, I like that we can provide a solution, especially for something that's that like confidence just destroying sometimes, depending on the person. And then, we take care of the other little bits and pieces as well. So a lot of people want to get smooth in different areas or bikini line is always ingrowing and causing dark spots. And then you know, you done work, got your body all fly, want to put your little bikini on, and dark spots, you know? Yeah. So it's really gives us an opportunity to help people take care of those aesthetic concerns that they're like, I don't know how I would get rid of it otherwise. So not only do we do the full body hair removal, but we do full body microdermabrasion and chemical peels as necessary. So sometimes those areas, because they've been overworked and shaved to death and whatnot, they are a little bit dark, and we can help lighten them up and airbrush you out a little bit. So when you're going around, you feel confident. Yes,
and you do that with the laser too. The skincare, you do a whole skin therapy.
Absolutely,
with the laser.
Yes. So we do laser skincare, and so
that's what I'm gonna get next.
Oh, okay. So awesome. So the laser facials are pretty popular. Basically, especially if people have any type of acne or signs of aging kind of showing up on their skin, the laser is great because it kills the bacteria under the skin. It we were talking about the sebaceous glands on one of your glands. I love that when you brought that up. I was like, yes. So those sebaceous glands actually get shrunken whenever they get the laser energy. So you're putting out less oil. You're staying more matte finished. And so it has like a variety of benefits, creates new collagen, so you get that little lift up, and any unwanted hairs in the area will get taken away. And sometimes it's not like people growing the little chin hairs, but sometimes people just have like that little light fuzz all over their skin. And when you take that off, their features look sharp and perfect and polished, and the pores look so. So a lot of people will use it for that purpose. So it's a very versatile and just wonderful treatment for your skin.
Right. How long you been in the business for?
Gosh. So I started with my first laser spa in New York in 2009. It was a partnership.
And you still have, you were saying that you still have that location.
I still go back and forth to New York, but a different location. So partnerships. Did you guys have a show on partnerships? There was something about, I feel like there was, yes. I didn't get to watch it yet, but I downloaded it. And I was like, Lord, partnerships.
Oh, yeah, we did have a show on partnerships.
Yes.
With Scott Juices,
Yeah, so I definitely need to check that one out because partnerships was a challenge for me.
Really?
Yes. So I ended up actually in 2015, that's when I started Harlem Zen as a solo proprietorship because I was like, no more partners.
Right.
No more. But I still do go back and forth to service my New York clientele.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's great to see them, and we're actually franchised in Harlem Zen. So the goal is to have lots of them. I have people coming in from New Orleans and North Carolina and all these different places because they're like, my sister girlfriend said, don't go to anyone else, you know?
Right.
And so I really want people to just have that confidence of like, once I see this big Harlem on the sign there, I know I'm safe. I can go here and get treatment.
And that's a real issue because like that was one of the concerns for me was when, you know, I wanted to get the laser. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want the laser to burn my skin.
Exactly.
So, like, can you explain about like that? You know, dealing with the melanated skin, like how we differ from, you know, less, you know, people who have less melanin.
Absolutely. So it's such a crazy thing. But I feel like it's like not something that's talked about enough within the aesthetics community.
Right.
So basically, not to get too technical, but you're sending in light energy to the skin and it converts into heat. But the amount that it converts into heat is based upon how much melanin is there. So if I were to laser you versus a Caucasian person, then it would be a completely different experience because your skin is experiencing all this heat, whereas theirs isn't. And so it just gets concentrated right on the hair fiber, and the skin's not feeling anything. And so I can treat them with, I don't know, 5 times the energy.
Right, because there's some levels to the actual laser.
Absolutely.
And which laser do you use?
Yeah, so I use a YAG laser.
Right.
And that's the one that is really optimized for skin of color. So you always want to... I know that they're working on technology to bring some of the other lasers up to par for skin of color. But when you look at that YAG laser, it's always at 1064 nanometers. And that longer wavelength is not as strong energy. So you know that you can get a safer response than somebody who's working with a laser that's at a short wavelength that's going to hurt a lot more and produce a lot more heat on your skin, not as safe for skin of color.
Right. That's the same laser that I used when I used to work in Houston.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because she used to work at a skin
at a dermatologist.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you got good results.
Right.
I get a lot of, like I was saying earlier when we were talking before the show, I get the refugees, you know, they've gone to Ideal Image or wherever, different places that are not necessarily focused on delivering a good result for skin of color, and stuff happens, you know.
And a lot of people are just not educated enough to know, like, okay, well, where do I go?
Exactly.
You know, sometimes they're looking for a deal and they're not looking for getting the actual best results. And just
That's
doing
so
the education, like, because you just got to do your research on everything.
On everything. Because, I mean, a lot of people, you know, because, they offer Groupons and everything all the time on, skin, you know, laser skin, cheap stuff. And I was like, listen, I don't know, like, because I did my research and I heard that it was actually a difference, you know.
Oh, there's a huge difference. And I had clients who come in and they're like, I went to a black female dermatologist and got a keloid, you know. And it's just like, you know, she's like, I did everything right. You know, like, how did this go wrong? And so it's a lot of it is the machine, you know, choosing the appropriate machine that's for skin of color, and then a lot of it's technique and just knowing what you're looking for as you go. So people who really immerse in this, you want somebody who's like, this is what they do. Like, you don't want to go to a loctician to get a weave, you know?
Exactly.
So,
like, this is your niche, you know? I deal with, you know, melanated skin.
Absolutely. And it's
and you want to go to somebody that is also educated, because, you know, you can go to that person who's just doing it just because, you know what I'm saying, and not like trying to like have like you're using YAG, you know. A lot of people may use another, I don't know what they're called, like the lasers.
They're cheaper too. Like, that's why they're using them. That's why you could buy 5 IPLs for the cost of that YAG. So when you go to American Laser Center or wherever, you know, and they've got this bay with like all of these lasers and all of these different like they got those on the cheap, and the results you get are
cheap. The same thing in hair care. Like, you know, you can go and get your little cheap products from, you know, Target or any place else or whatever, but you're not going to get the results. You know, because I invest in high quality products. You know, we spend a lot of money on the product, but you get the result that you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the time invested is everything. You got to pay
really
for my service.
So do you do like Botox and all that stuff too? Like Botox and fillers and all of that stuff?
You know,
how do you feel about
ancient history? I actually, my first spa, the partnership, we did Botox in there, and we would have a doctor come in and do the Botox. I do not believe in putting toxins in my body.
Thank you. Me too. I think it's crazy, and they call it preventative.
Because Botox is preventative.
I don't agree.
Botox, you know, freezes the muscle. So, like, when you move your forehead like that, you won't get those lines. It just stays, like, you know,
you're just frozen.
Still. Frozen.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
permanent bitch face.
Okay.
So she feels so strong about that.
I do, because I just think it's crazy. I mean, hey, to each his own. You know, no judgment here or whatever.
But a lot of people do it, honestly. Like, especially celebrities. Like, all kinds of, like, you think, oh, black don't crack. But black does crack eventually. And people do it. Like, you can see all those celebrities where they talk and you may not notice it because it's just, that's what you're used to seeing. But a lot of celebrities do fillers. A lot of celebrities, they have the best of the best services because they have the money.
I get it, but it's like, what is that stuff that they're putting in it? You're filling it with what? What is it? Like, you know, but a lot of some amino acids. Is it something that's gonna, like, you know, that your body naturally produces? Like, have y'all got to that level of technology where it's like you're filling it with your own stuff that's,
a lot of people don't care. A lot of people want to look young forever. Forever young.
So that's a before and after that I'm showing you right now, and that's for a laser rejuvenation service.
Wow.
So just pure light energy. That's one session.
See?
And basically,
is this on your Instagram?
No.
Okay.
No. I really do try, and her eyes are covered, so it's but I try not to do too much of, you know, putting my clients out there. But, you know, in a private setting or whatever, I'll share photos so people can know what to expect. So 2 ways that I really like to avoid that whole Botox filler, whatever craziness. Because, I mean, anytime you're injecting a foreign entity into your body,
it's
like,
just like
there's bound to be some
issues.
And And I'm surprised that it's gone this long without some kind of big blow up, because I was nervous about that back in 2009. I was like, this stuff's going to cause a problem with somebody.
Certain people, though, go back, like we've had certain patients that would go to remove those things because, they either, got botched.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, at a different place, and people want to remove a reaction or whatever it is, so they go to remove it.
Yeah,
some people. I'm just too scared to, like I don't want to take the risk.
No, I'm messing around.
I don't want to know.
We just gonna have to age the way I'm.
I'm just gonna have to get this.
Go
to the Harlem Zen and get.
Well, you can use the laser, which is awesome.
And do the laser.
Exactly. And the other thing you can do is the PRP facials.
Oh, what's that?
So basically, that's your vampire facial.
Right.
So
you take your blood.
It's your stuff.
Yeah.
I never heard of that before.
Platelet-rich plasma. So they take your blood, a blood draw, spin it down. They separate the blood from the plasma, separate out your plasma, put it back on you. They may microneedle it in or something like that. It's not something that I do, but it is something that if someone needs an extreme change, I absolutely believe in it, because it's like you're putting back the best of your own stuff onto your skin.
Okay, well, see, I could
something
roll with
like that.
I could get with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when people are like, I need something more permanent, or I need something, like, okay, let's not stitch up our faces. Let's not inject toxins and random substances.
So what is that doing? Is that like filling in?
Yeah. So, I mean, people get the lift up. It helps with the wrinkles. It helps with the skin tone.
Is that something that you're going to offer eventually?
I am thinking about it. I actually have a client who, her niece is a phlebotomist. And she was saying, like, she might be. And I'm looking at getting another technician right now. And some of the candidates, yes, I'm working on that.
Working on it.
Whew. So, but some of the candidates are actually have medical background. So I'm not going to be dealing with any blood. I'm just going to be honest about that.
Right. You're going to stick to your laser hair removal and your laser skin therapy. Yeah.
I'll stay in my lane of things that, this is what I'm great at right here. So that's what I'm going to do.
I feel you.
And anything else, I'm going to bring in somebody who's great at it. I'm not going to be experimenting and finding my way on somebody.
Exactly.
So I think that it's a really excellent service, though, that is probably a little bit underhyped, because it could be a great way for people to avoid putting so much randomness, foreign objects into their body.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, so there's just different ways to just not avoid all those fillers, and whoever, honestly, to each his own. Like we always say, if that's something that you're into,
hey, great,
that's fine. If it works for you, then great.
Yeah, if you need it for a migraine, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, right.
It
I heard of
medicine.
People even putting Botox in the down here.
And there's other ways to do it.
That's what Chris told me. He was like, he told me that we had a conversation. He said that they put Botox in the penis to make it thicker.
Well,
girth.
You mean it may have been a filler. It can't be, because it may have been a filler. It can't.
Because I was like, can y'all get extensions on your, Wow.
Look,
and he was like, look.
Have some water.
And he was like, people do all type of stuff. Like they able to, add some stuff to it to make it longer and wider. And I think he was saying
a filler.
I don't know what the hell it was, but it was just something like
it couldn't
Botox,
have been.
something.
It couldn't have been.
These
Botox,
men are doing some stuff.
Because if it was Botox, you don't want to freeze the penis, people.
I think it was to make it hard. I think, maybe, I don't know, erectile disorder. I don't know. Don't get me to lying. But, I mean, but you would always see these things before in the back, on these advertisements of penis extensions and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's another subject. But, yeah.
We gotta get somebody in to talk about that.
Right, I would love
somebody knows about it.
Right, to know about that.
Somebody really doing that? Y'all doing that shit out here?
They are.
Damn.
Everybody not blessed with 12 soft.
Well, anyway, I thought you were talking about the female. That's what people to tighten stuff up. That's where you were going with it.
Do they? I think the women do that too.
Yeah, vaginal rejuvenation. Yeah, there's people doing stuff like that with lasers and other devices and whatnot.
The Kegels. That's it.
Yeah,
the little Kegels or the little ball that you supposed to squeeze or whatever.
That should be.
Yeah.
It's just doing too much.
Right. So do you notice the difference between skin colors? Do you feel like certain, not you, that you deal with like skin and all that stuff, like the difference between when, you know how they say black don't crack?
Oh.
Like, do you see the difference?
Is the black cracking? Do you feel like a major difference? Because, I mean, there's like, I remember reading something online that said like, oh no, like, you know, that's a myth, you know, like, you know, black does crack. And, you know, but I've noticed like so many people who have melanin, you know, and I'm talking about melanin across the board, just not black, but just people who have darker skin. And it just seems to me that they just age better. You know, better. I'm sorry. I mean, just.
Yeah, and that's not an indictment.
Yeah, it just seems like.
A lot of it's just inherent in how we're built. You know, the skin is denser. You know, it's not as fine and papery, and we don't do as. Oh, that was not positive. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Caucasians out there.
I caught that.
Okay.
My European sisters, she did not mean it like that. Listen.
Okay, I didn't mean it like that.
Nah.
I retract that. Edit this out.
But you know, they even in just, you know, what is it? Hair. Like, the lighter the hair, the drier the hair. You know, the darker the hair.
Absolutely.
The more moisturized it is.
And I think the sun damage plays a huge part in it. Is that, you know, the Caucasian audiences, the fairer, lighter Fitzpatricks, like, they are doing a lot more in the sun. And when they're in the sun, just, you know, just living life, doing normal stuff in the sun, not sunbathing or whatever, like, the effect is so much more pronounced because the skin is not ready. The skin, it burns easily. It's damaged more easily.
Right, because you can see, like, sometimes when, you know, like, Caucasians, they get red. They don't tan.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some people. I even had, you know, some light-skinned people even are, like, real high yellow. Like, don't tan.
Yeah. And that's exactly how, like, that's one of the important parameters we have to look at for laser treatment is that Fitzpatrick scale of, you know, it's 1 through 6. And then it starts with, you know, always burns, never tans to, you know, never burns. And so you've got all these gradations along the way. And somebody, there's a dermatologist out there that always says, what did she say? Beware of the Oklahoma blonde or something like that. But basically it's like an area where there were a lot of Native Americans that mixed with the Caucasian groups. And so their skin behaves like skin of color. So, like, there's a lot of underlying pigment that you don't necessarily see when you look at them. And so you look and you see blonde hair, blue eyes.
You just thinking that it's
and you're like, let me crank this thing up because she's going to be all right. And she's got melanin under there that, you know, can react in the same way.
She got some
ours.
Africa in her.
She at least got some Cherokee,
some Southern
something.
Italy, some Sicilian and all of that.
Absolutely, yeah, all of that. Native, you know, that they carry the same kind of melanin that people of color do. Well, they're people of color, so.
That's interesting.
You guys got to check Harlem Zen out. Like, she is, like, so knowledgeable, as you can see.
She knows what she's talking about.
She knows what she's talking about. I love professionals that are like that, who just stick in, they stay in a lane, they know they niche, they know they craft. Like,
and energy is, like, everything.
And energy is amazing. Like, she is such a sweet, beautiful person. Like, when I first met her, I just instantly, because I mean, true, like seriously, like, you know, you working in these close parameters, like, that's a very, you know, like, just with hair care.
Right, not only that, but you know, if you're getting, like, your vagina done, like,
right, exactly.
She getting close and intimate.
Right, she all up in it, you know, the nitty gritty there, you know. So,
so you want
somebody who's
that's gonna
like,
make you feel comfortable. And, you know.
That means a lot. Thank you so much, lady.
And, you know, I even sent my 17-year-old daughter there because she was going to get waxed. Beautiful. Thank you. She was going to go get waxed, and, you know, her aunt, Chichia, hey, Irini, she told her, she was like, girl, I've been getting waxed. I'm going to take Zari. She's been, you know, getting waxed for years, and she was going to take her. And I thought about it, and then I was like, wait, no, let her get laser. And that's when I decided to have her experience laser, because she's just so scary anyway.
She's sweet.
Yes,
well, like, that's the hugest compliment that someone can give, is to trust their child.
Right.
So,
and
like,
her results are awesome as well. She needs to, matter of fact, come back for her second appointment.
All right, we'll get her scheduled for sure.
So yeah, check her out on her social media is Harlem Zen on Facebook, Instagram,
everything.
All the socials.
Your website too. You have a website.
Yes. It's just
where are you?
harlemzen.com.
You're located here in Atlanta. Where are you located?
So we're in Edgewood, which I guess is like near Little Five Points and East Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right off of 20. Forgive me, I don't know Atlanta very well still after all these years.
Yeah, girl, me
It's like off of Memorial Drive, you know, like right before you get to Moreland. Like if you're coming from the east.
Yeah. So we're
right
pretty close. We're like 30 seconds from that intersection of Moreland and Memorial.
Okay.
So right there.
So guys, check her out and check us out. Y'all know our Instagram. If you don't, is Hair and Whatever podcast, Hair and Whatever on YouTube and iTunes. All the good shit. Check us out.
Yes, check us out, you guys. We out.
Oh, and don't forget, slip into the DMs.
Yeah, slip into the DMs, okay, with your crazy questions. We want to hear some good, juicy stuff, too.
I have a question on the DM.
Yeah. She's going to slip into our DMs.
I need to put my question in.
Peace. All right. We out.